That's largely what we're doing right now with Amplify. Again, it started as an in-person event. We said, hey, let's see if we can do this somewhat virtually. And regardless, whether this had been in person or as we're doing it now, it's all about that connection, right? And if we seek first to connect as opposed to, produce content, it's like, how can I connect? How can I connect the human elements of this brand with the humans on the other side of this content, right? That's where channel becomes a tool. It becomes a way, a means for connection, right? Some people, podcasts are incredible connectors because it's the only thing you can do, the only kind of content you can consume when you're doing almost anything else. While you're driving, while you're on your lawn, while you're exercising, while you're washing the dishes, you can consume a podcast. And so that kind of breeds this certain level of connection, but that's not for everyone. Other people want to dig deeper and really, consume it via text and be able to highlight and share different elements that way. And sometimes people want to consume little bits. Their video really resonates. And so looking at a channel as ways to connect with different people who want to be reached in different ways, it's really powerful to even have that choice, as opposed to thinking, okay, I only have one lever to pull and it's called channel X, it's only podcasting or it's only social media. That really limits you. Whereas if you're able to think about, okay, I'm going to start with this conversation, I'm going to start with this rich piece of content, and I'm going to look at how I can pull it apart and connect with people in different ways. That's a big difference maker.
And it's amazing how it sounds so easy, like, hey, there's another person, there's another human being, this needs to be interesting to them, that when you get caught up in the act of managing your time, your organization, all the different inputs, you start to lose the ability to just stay there with, okay, is this going to be interesting or not? So it's important to step back and really think about the story, what you're trying to say, is it resonating, et cetera. And while you were talking about the different channels and different ways you can use them, I started to think about, we do these research reports at Salesforce, and they're really powerful white papers that have a ton of research behind them, really good information. So when you said, yeah, people want to read this. So when you think about the user in this case, they're going to download that report, they're going to print it out, you're going to highlight, you're going to copy and paste and put stuff in a deck. You're giving people a tool that they're really going to use to educate them.
Yep.
So then when you think about, okay, well, we should do this, how do we get more people to see it? We should do a video, we should do a podcast. That's where you think about, oh, well, I'd really be interested in the methodology and how they did this report. How was it made? And that's a great conversation for a podcast. So you bring in the team that made the report and you do a conversation about that. Or I want to pull the top 5 things that have gotten feedback that are most important to people and make a video where I can pull some of those graphics and do, here are the top 5 things from the research report. So that's where you have this spine of this work that you're doing around that report, and just thinking about how do you amplify that on the different channels in ways that are going to work for those channels.